Hi, this is Mary with Mary's Blue Door, and welcome to this lovely Wednesday. It's pouring rain here in California, so I'm really excited about that. It always reminds me of home, and of course it's a treat for us here in California to get some rain. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about essential oils and why I love them and why I'm so invested in them. And I thought I would start with the story of me and my Thieves oil. When I first purchased these oils many years ago, like many of you, I bought the kit and I used it for a couple of days and then it sat on my shelf and gathered lots of dust. And months later, I was really sick. I had a sinus infection and I received a phone call from the woman who had introduced me to the oils. And she was asking me, how was I? And I said, I'm really sick actually. Can I call you back? I'm really sick. I'm gonna have to go to the doctor. She said, well, she asked me what was wrong. And I explained that I had a sinus infection and that I had used all of the natural cures I could think of, that it was a recurring thing. It would happen every single year. I'd had it for 20 years and I'd always end up on antibiotics no matter what I did. And she said, well, did you try some oils? And I went, nope. And so she advised me to get out my Thieves oil. And she said to use it as often as I thought of it throughout the day, to drink it, add it to some tea with some lemon and some honey. She said to inhale it. She said to put it on the bottom of my feet, to put it on my spine, and to actually dilute it and to put it right here where I was feeling all that sinus pressure. So I thought, well, I got nothing to lose. What's one more day? And so I used it like she had recommended, and I was sick and in bed. And I used it throughout that day. I don't know how many times I applied it, maybe 6, 7, 8 times. I woke up the next morning and I had that feeling of relief and change in symptoms that you will get sometimes if you've been on an antibiotic. When you maybe on your second or third dose of the antibiotic and all of a sudden you've turned a corner and you're 70% better, that was the way I felt after just one day of using this oil. And I was blown away because every year for 20 years I'd gotten this infection. I had tried all sorts of different homeopathic solutions and this was the only one that worked, and the fact that it worked within 24 hours. What was even more remarkable was that happened, I believe, in either 2012 or 2013. It is now 2019 and I have never gotten a sinus infection since. And what I credit this for is when you put Thieves on your spine, this is antiviral, antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal, antiparasitic, it's anti-everything. And when this goes on your spine, it kills where we incubate all of our bugs. So, we'll get an infection, and the reason it's recurring is that there's some residual amount of it that stays incubating in our spine. So when we can get it to kill it off at that level, then we won't get that reinfection, that infection coming back again and again. So that's what I love about Thieves. Some of you may be curious where it got its name. Well, Thieves is actually a blend of lemon, not necessarily in this order, clove, lemon, eucalyptus, cinnamon bark, and rosemary. And this was actually the combination of oils that grave robbers used during the time of the plague. And they would use these oils in order to protect themselves from contracting the plague as they robbed the graves and robbed the bodies of people that were almost dead. So kind of a very harrowing origination, but that is how effective this oil is, that it actually saved them from the plague. So that's where it got its name. It's always nice to kind of know where it came from. Other organizations do sell this. doTERRA sells it, and I believe that they call it, I'm trying to remember what they call it, it'll come to me in a moment. Melaleuca calls it Armor. And, what does doTERRA call it? It's gonna bug me. Okay, I will look that up and put it in the comments. But anyway, you can get a blend of these oils. It's super powerful, so try it. And dilute it if you're using it directly on your skin, especially on your face or on your spine if it feels hot because of the clove that's in there. On your feet, it's typically fine. But again, if it feels hot to you or strong, just dilute it with a carrier oil like olive oil, coconut oil, fractionated coconut oil, whatever massage oil that you have lying around, just something to dilute it. Don't wash it off. Washing it in water is not going to help. All right, hope that that's helpful today, and I will catch you next time. Bye.